name is Chantel and welcome to another video. This month has 5 Fridays, so this is the second Harry Potter Matchbox Diorama for this month and we're up to number 5. If you would like to catch up on all the other ones, I'll leave a link in the iCard section. So let's have a look at what the 5th Harry Potter Matchbox Diorama will be. I'm gonna take out all the previous ones first. There we go. Let's shake it up. Let's choose this one. And we have the Astronomy Tower. Let's get creating. Hello, VoiceOver Me here. This is where I show you that I've made the matchbox myself. You can find all the instructions below on how to make your own, plus a website where you can also make other boxes. What I am doing here is making the rounded, basically the rounded tower, because the astronomy tower is round, but I'm working with matchboxes, so I need to use some creative liberty here. And this is how I drew out the arches that you can see in the astronomy tower, and I am cutting them out. There's 5 on each side. This looks really fiddly and time consuming. It is, but I absolutely love doing this because the result, I absolutely love it. It's so tiny and delicate that it is worth doing this. Now that I've got that cut out, I'm showing you here the moving element that I will be placing inside the tower later. And then I am moving on to painting the archways, the arch walls with grey acrylic paint, and then stippling on some grey and white acrylic paint to get that mottled look. It's basically a stone wall, and I wanted to have that look of that stone wall. And here you can see the left after and right before the painting. And this is me painting the flap that is like basically the front of the astronomy tower. And with all the matchboxes, you will see me paint this part as well. It just looks like a window right now. But yeah, that's basically the closing door of the diorama. And then, of course, it's time to close up the diorama and gluing everything together. And this is the frame that we'll be working with for the rest of this diorama. Then onto the painting of the arches. I wanted it to look like there was some depth in them, because the movie makers thought that the astronomy tower needed to be a reflection of Dumbledore's office. So it needed to be an impressive set. Stuart Craig says that it was hugely significant as a set, but also a complicated, highly detailed piece of architecture, and that the structure is 3 overlapping cylindrical spaces. It's appropriate for the astronomy tower to have everything based on circles. Now, of course, I can only do so much in such a tiny diorama. I might in the future recreate this one in a bigger diorama. I'm not sure yet, but the set itself was filled with mirrors, spheres and scientific instruments, including a telescope big enough to sit in. Now, to somewhat add that second layer of the cylindrical room to this little diorama, I added the little railing that you can see outside the astronomy tower. making sure that parts of the railing overlap with the arches. And then of course we have the fussy cutting that needs to happen for this railing. It's basically the same technique that I use for, I think it was Hogsmeade. And then with the Sharpie, a silver colored Sharpie, I use bronze and gold as well in this video. I am adding that metal element to the railing. I thought it was just a little extra touch of a bit of shimmer and a little bit of interest. And using PVA glue here to glue this little railing down. And then the most exciting part, well, one of the most exciting parts of this diorama is adding these arch walls to the diorama itself, and I'm gluing that with it's basically Fabri-Tac glue that I'm using here. You can find a link in the Amazon, a link in the description below of all the materials that I use. And then moving on to the other exciting part of this diorama. It was fiddly as all get out, but I made it work. Before we move on to that, however, I am creating a top and a base for the domed walls, or the arched walls, painting them and then gluing them on top also with the Fabri-Tac glue. Here I'm painting the floor. Now with the floor, they're actually wooden, but I made the floor in like a brown kind of color, like basically the base color that this cardstock is, but it didn't look right. It didn't really complete the look of this diorama. So again, creative liberties are used here, and I used the same color as the whole diorama itself. There is also normally a sphere in the base here. However, because this is such a tiny diorama, I left it out and only went with the top one. Then moving on to cutting out the rings that go around the sphere that's hanging from the ceiling. I could have just used closed rings for this and didn't have to cut them out. I had no idea how I was going to attach them, and then I was going to use a second needle in the end, which I did, and you can see me attach that after the first ring is, or the second ring is gone on. And so far so good. This is where the second ring goes on, and I just realized that maybe I should use a second pin to support that all. So it was a real struggle because it's so tiny and inside a diorama, and yeah, like I said, I do make it work in the end, but wow, this was a struggle. But hey, definitely not everything goes according to plan, and you can just see me struggle in this video. That's fine. Here you can see that the second pin is attached to the base, and that I am now able to just glue the rings on top of the two needles at the top and the bottom. I hope you're having fun watching all these Harry Potter related videos on my channel. Let me know in the comments down below if you like to see me do other themed months in the future. And of course, what you would like to see. Now let's have a look at the final montage. And this is it for the 5th Harry Potter Matchbox diorama. I think I might have a new favorite. I love that there is a moving element inside this little matchbox. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. Make sure to check out my socials and consider supporting me on Patreon. And if you're new here, welcome. Please don't forget you can click the subscribe button to become part of the Raven family. Thanks so much for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!